Okay, go.
Yeah.
Recording.
The only person I'm mad at this point is Abu for not having his on.
I'm on my way, Josh. Let me join on my phone.
I'm just messing with
I-
you.
I'm coming.
About to
All
say,
right.
even the Gerber baby's got the damn camera on.
All right. Who's the Gerber baby?
I stayed, Josh.
Oh.
I didn't want to, but let it
I
grow
thought
back.
you were about to call out somebody else for their age.
No,
All
damn.
right. Now, all seriousness. All right. I'm about to do my voice signature, right? I say, all right. So I know that we were looking at the 30,000, and I know you were in between the 30 and the 35. At this time, I'm running a quote for 32,500, something right smack dab in the middle. And I always would go, all right, so just so you know, something right in the middle, the 32,500 is only blank. Would you like to try to get that extra $2,500 in coverage, or do you want to keep it where it's at? And you're not going to hard close this. You guys following me? This isn't something to push for. This is just an option. So the 32,500 is only blank. Would you like to get that extra 2,500, or do you want to keep it where it's at? It's about a 50-50. 50 will go, yeah, let's do the extra 2,500. The other 50 will go, nah, let's keep it where it's at. Okay? Again, this is an option. This is not a hard close. This is as if you're calling an existing client and adding extra to their policy. You're not going to push them into it. Following me, guys?
Right.
Yes, sir.
It's an easy way to increase your AP, sometimes by a little, sometimes by a lot, depending on where their age bracket is, right? It could be as little as $5 or $10. It could be as much as $20 or $30. Following me? So this could increase your AP, 120 up to $400 more than what it already was before you asked that question, okay? Great way to add a little bit of extra income, a little bit of extra AP. That's the first way. Second way is, Mr. Jacob, if you could hit that drop down for the select the script for me. This is something that is going to be mandatory across the board that I need everybody doing on every phone call, every close that they get. Go down to seal the deal for me. Find seal the deal.
And blind man.
No, yeah. You're not blind. Hit policy protection plan. Everybody follow along. Policy protection plan, and then scroll down, and then seal the deal will be right there on the right hand side. All the way down.
Oh, got you.
Seal the deal. Everybody seen how I did that?
Yeah.
Everybody watch that. Could anybody repeat that if they had to? You go down to policy protection plan, click on it, scroll all the way down, and you hit seal the deal.
Oh, it's
Policy
already up.
protection. No, you're fine. Show them again.
All right, let me go out of this. So I'm going to go policy protection plan. Here we go. Go all the way
Seal
down.
the deal. This is after the deal is done.
Okay.
Okay?
After the app?
After everything. This is the last thing you do before you say goodbye. All right. Mr. Rico, we're all finished up. The application's finished. Did I answer all of your questions today?
Yes.
Okay. Did I do a good enough job that if you met someone tomorrow and they told you they needed insurance, did I do a good enough job to earn your recommendation?
Yes, you did.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that, Mr. Rico. Where do you write things down that you don't want to forget?
Bathroom mirror.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Do me a favor. Go to your bathroom,
Okay.
and I want you to put my name and number on your bathroom mirror, okay?
All
Again,
right.
my name is Joshua Cribb. My agent number is blank, and my phone number is blank, okay?
All right.
Offer that to anybody that asks you about life insurance, but more importantly, make sure you have that number if you ever need to make any changes or ever have any questions, all right?
Okay.
All right. So on that note, you have been extremely patient with me. So again, thank you so much. I would like to offer you a little gift for doing business with me today. Earlier, you mentioned friends and family that were special to you, which also makes them special to me and my company. Our agency has a program that's going to give you an extra, see where it says $500, guys?
Yep.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
That is $1,000.
It's
Wow.
1,000
Everybody
now.
say that. Everybody say that with me. The $500 is $1,000.
It's now
That
1,000.
$500 is
Okay.
$1,000.
So our agency has a program that gives you an extra $1,000 of free accidental insurance up to $5,000 for every family member that you introduce me to. And those family members are not required to buy anything. Let me demonstrate exactly how it works. And at the end, I will automatically give you your first $1,000 of insurance. It's actually kind of fun. Here we go. Step one. Of the names that you shared with me earlier of special people, let's put them in order for whoever you think needs to speak with me the most, down to whoever you think needs to speak with me the least. Let's start with and pick the beneficiary's name. Follow me, guys?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's start with Julie. Top of the list, middle, or bottom? Mr. Rico,
Towards the
Julie.
top.
Towards the top. Okay. Now, is Julie's area code 563 like yours?
Yes. She lives down the street.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And then what's the rest of it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Perfect. Guess what?
What?
You just earned an extra $1,000 of insurance. Pretty easy, right?
Oh, how does that work again?
You just earned an extra $1,000 just by introducing me. Now, let me ask you, who would you say is number two? Let's get you another 1,000.
Oh, okay. Jacob.
Jacob, okay. And does he live in the same area as you as well? What is his area code the same as yours?
He lives right behind me.
Perfect. And
We
then
put
what's
our
the rest
heads
of his
together
number?
and look like butthead.
There we go. What's his number?
563 10,000.
Close.
All right. And then do you have a third?
Yeah, I'm
Tell me
sure I
now.
can come up with someone. Not right now, though.
Tell me. Okay. All right. That's no worry. So you've already earned an extra $2,000, Mr. Rico.
Can I get back to you
Um,
later?
You absolutely can. So that's what I was going to say next. For every person that you recommend me to, you automatically get an extra 1,000 up to 5,000. So you still have 3 empty slots on your profile that I can fill out for you. Okay. So do me a favor. You have any siblings that live in the area with you?
No, they're all scattered. Actually, no, they're all scattered.
Okay. Older or younger siblings?
I'm the eldest.
You're the oldest. What are your siblings' names?
Bambi, Ferdinand, Fernando, Glenn.
All right. So what I see, Mr. Rico, is we can fill up your profile right now for you and get you that full 5,000. What's Fernando's number? What's Bambi's number? What's da-da-da's number? Perfect. All right. So now you have an extra $5,000 of insurance. All right. So, Mr. Rico, you've been awesome. We've covered a lot of ground, and I see a lot of things in this business. Family is not what it used to be, so I'm very encouraged to see that you still have as much love within yours. And I'm a part of that world now because I'm your insurance agent. I'm going to be there for you the day that your family needs me the most, and I'm going to tell them about mine and your time here today and give them one more good memory to add to your their collection, which hopefully isn't for years down the road. Thank you for that privilege. Let me ask you a few more questions before I let you go today, and then I'll get you out of here, okay, Mr. Rico? Do you remember,
Okay.
and I'm not going to wait for a response there. Let me ask you a few more questions, and I'm going to let you go. Do you remember the name of the insurance company that we got you with today?
It starts with an AM.
American Amicable, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Excellent. So they're going to be mailing the policy directly to you, and as soon as you get it, please call me at the phone number that I gave you, and I'm going to go over it step by step with you, okay? Page by page. All right?
Okay.
Your first payment will be processed within the next 24 to 72 hours, but what day did we set up your reoccurring payments on every month? Do you remember?
It was the third Wednesday of every month.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Now, the only thing worse than not having enough coverage is having enough and then losing it, or not to get enough at first and pay more later. When you think about providing a check for your family for $30,000, for $30,000 at $232 a month to make that happen, do those numbers feel high, low, or perfect?
It's right there. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. Last question. If someone asked you, why did you buy this policy today? What would you say?
I just want to make sure that my family's covered when I pass.
So you tell them you love your family so much, you don't want them left with a burden. Am I right?
Correct. Yep.
Yes, sir. Mr. Rico, we'll be talking soon when I discuss your new policy with you over the phone. Between now and then, if anyone calls you about anything related to your insurance, please call me before you speak with them because I am your agent and I will be in the best position to assist you. Did you have any further questions for me before I let you go?
No, that's good.
Perfect. I'll talk to you in about a week, Mr. Rico. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. How can this help you make more money?
Quality sales.
Referrals.
Referrals, right? For every person that they just recommended, you just got an extra, probably an extra sale. 1 out of 2, I would say, will probably turn into a sale. Strong.
Now, how do you actually give them the extra 2,000 or 3,000 or 5,000 of insurance? Like, we.
That's an
How do-
SLS way. Remind me of that here in a second.
Okay.
Okay, I'll show you exactly how you actually do that and honor what you said that you were going to do.
Okay.
Okay?
So if you're with someone and they say, "Well, I want my wife to get one too. Can we start with that now?"
Perfect.
Okay.
Yep, extra 1,000 right there and a second policy in the home. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Great. I can
Oh.
definitely help her.
If I read this correct, if you can at least put the presentation on their voicemail, they still get the. Is that
As
what
long
this
as you
is
get a
saying?
name and a number.
Okay.
Dude, you are so freaking smart. Come here.
Of course, I'm getting a call back.
Oh, come here. This kid, he comes in here. It's cold.
Hey,
in my
young
room.
man.
He comes in here with his cereal and his milk. He crawls up on my lap and he goes, "Brr." Next thing you know, he slides down. He comes back with his blanket. All right.
He's
So
a cute young man.
thank you. So that's the first way that this helps you make more money. What's the second way? Somebody
Well-
said it.
Quality of
Quality.
sales.
Yep.
Quality, right? Because this person is going to have less of everything. You know all those FISAPs that y'all get? This
Mhm.
Yeah.
eliminates most of them. This eliminates NSFs. Why does this eliminate NSFs? What question eliminates NSFs?
So you can contract
Is that the
their-
same as return draft? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. But what question? Scroll up a little bit for us, Jacob. Let's see the 4 questions right there. What
Your first
question
payment.
eliminates NSFs?
Your first payment will be due.
Yep. Your first payment will be processed within 24 to 72 hours. Reiterates the e-check, right? Reiterates the day of the first draft. Reiterates the day of the month that it would be coming out every month. It eliminates buyer's remorse. What question eliminates buyer's remorse?
Do you know the company
Couple
name?
couple of questions. Yeah, company name and
4.
Number 4. If somebody asked you, why did you do this? What would you tell them? Eliminates the buyer's remorse. They're selling themselves as a second time as they get off the phone after they've already paid. Following me?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
It also eliminates cancellations. What question eliminates cancellations?
3.
3. Why? What
Mhm.
is the number one reason people cancel policies?
They say it's too high.
They can't afford it,
Right.
right? So number 3 eliminates cancellations because it reiterates the amount, the cost, and it asks them, how do you feel about that number? Now, if they tell you it's too high, what do you need to do?
Adjust.
Go back.
You need to
Yeah.
adjust it, right? You got to lower the premium. You need to call back office and say, hey, I put in an application for 30. Let's do it for 25.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So why we don't like insist or ask them to pay whole year? I know it's like expensive, but do we allow to ask them if they wanted to pay for a year or monthly?
You absolutely can. You absolutely can. Um, in my experience, it's harder to get a commitment from somebody. The commitments that you do get are better, right? Realistically, they are better. But most people, in my experience, and I could be dead wrong for this, in my experience, most people aren't willing to do $1,800, $2,400
Yeah,
right away
it is
for a policy.
expensive, but in the safe, they are safe, and as the agent, we are safe too, and less work for the back office.
Yeah. I've tried it. I haven't had much success from it. It could just be me. You know, I'll be the first to tell you I'm not the best at everything. It could be me. Um, I find that most people, it's hard enough to get them to commit to $120, let alone $1,800. I've only sold 4 annual payments since I've worked here in 4 years, so about 1 a year. But great
Yeah,
question, Ms.
makes
Ahmed.
sense. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Um,
Josh,
Yeah.
how
Hold
does
on.
the
Laura had her hand up first. Let me go, Laura.
Oh, sorry,
first,
go
and
ahead.
then you.
I was just telling somebody earlier today, I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but the elderly do not like to give up their money, even if they have it to give. I have a 91-year-old friend who's a wonderful example of this. She lives on a piece of property between $1 and $2 million in value. She has, I know for a fact because I've helped her with her banking account, that she has $60,000 in one checking account and almost 75 in another, and that doesn't include the stocks and bonds that she's got and the dividends that she gets from those. But if you take her to the store, she's going to look at prices and she's not going to buy things because they're too expensive, even if she wants them. And she's got money that she could burn if she wanted to at 91. But she's scared to death she's going to be have to be in a senior living or nursing home or someplace like that, and she's not going to have the money to pay for it. And she has said or made comments about that. So they don't give money up like that in big chunks easily.
Funny you say
so-
that. My aunt that used to live in this home that I'm living in now, she was a multimillionaire. She owned 26 properties in the city. She used to
Wow.
complain that I charged her $40 to mow her front and backyard.
Yeah.
She used to complain. She's like, "Why are you charging me 40? You won't do it for 20?" I'm like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, that's like, I mean, that's like Miss Jane. I mean, she is scared to death that she's going to need that money. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're going to get many people to provide you with the entire. Now, if they're crazy rich and they don't care about going to a nursing home or any place like that because you can't run them out of money,
They
then
probably wouldn't be looking into a policy like this. But like I said,
Probably
myself,
not.
it could be me, right? I could just be the way I did it or my mindset on it. There was a lady that used to work with us that she never sold a policy under $300 a month. Never sold one policy under $300 a month. I don't know. I know how she did it because $300 a month to her was nothing. So she didn't mind asking for it, and she asked for it like it was nothing. So it could just be me. I wouldn't spend that much, so it's hard for me to ask that. But again, that's a mindset thing. Then Rico, go ahead, and then Malika,
Yeah,
seeing your hand up.
this is completely off the topic here, but I wanted to know how do you work just in case I've run into it a couple times, so I think it might work for somebody I can offer the the income replacement. How does that work? Because I
Yep.
mean, you took over one of my calls one time and you said something about it goes to like 13 months or payments. How does that work?
Um,
How do we set it up on our end? How do we start that?
okay. Great question. Save it for just a minute.
Okay.
Great question though, and I'll cover that. Any more questions on seal the deal?
No.
Malik, was your question about seal the deal?
No, I can hold it. No problem.
Okay. All right. So
I,
on
oh,
every phone call, I need you guys to make this part of your script. Where do you find it? Somebody
Script.
walk me
Policy
through it.
protection.
Script.
Okay.
And then go to scroll down and hit seal the deal
Beautiful. And when should you do this?
every
after
sale.
the banking.
After the app. This is to close out the deal and say goodbye.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody can do this on their phone calls?
Yep.
Okay. Seal the deal. Every phone call that you sell, you get done with the app, do the seal the deal. Okay. Now, Rico, to answer your question, write down your question so you don't forget, Mr. Malik. Rico, for your question, income replacement. All that is, it's very simple. All it is I break down the death benefit and I multiply it by a set X amount of months.
Like-
So for an example, if I ask somebody, how much would your wife need to stay afloat if you were to pass away? Oh, she'd probably need $500 a month. I'll take $500. I'll multiply it by 12. That's $6,000 a year. Right?
Yep.
So I would say, okay, I'm going to look at a 6, a 12, an 18, 24, and a 30,000 for you. So we can do 5 years for her, and that would only be blank. We can do 4 years for her, that would be blank.
Gotcha.
Make sense, everybody?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Very, very simple. That's the simplest way that you can look at it.
I think
It's still a
is that
license
is that
and
set
policy.
up with the will the carrier set it up like that to
Yeah.
like at when it's time to pay out, like, okay, I want my 500 a month.
Yep. So when they call the insurance carrier, it's kind of like winning the lotto. They'll say, hey, do you want monthly installments or do you want it all at once?
Gotcha.
Yep. All right. And then Malik?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about I was listening to this training. I think it was SLS, the SLS University, or it could have been the tutorials on the side of the screen, where they were at some sort of training, and the example was somebody had a lot of, well, they already had their stuff taken care of, but I guess the way that they were talking, they had a lot of money in the bank, and so they sold a product where it was like a life
about
insurance.
single premium?
Is that what I'm talking about?
Yep.
A single premium?
Yeah.
Okay. How what is that about? Like, I don't
Never seen it, never sold it. Couldn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we offer it. I've never even seen it.
Oh, okay.
I have been told that we can sell it. They have never trained anybody on it, including myself.
Okay.
It's just that one video in university. I don't know exactly what you're
You
talking
know what I'm
about.
talking about? Okay.
Yep.
I do
Because they
too.
did a little skit.
Right. They acted the situation out. Okay. All right. So, well,
Yeah.
yeah, that was my question. Okay.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me that in training. Go give it to mommy. All right. Next up, how to add the AD&D.
Okay.
Pen, switch to shared content. Okay. Top right, Jacob. You see that AD&D request? Tap on that. Hit add AD&D request. Right here, it gives you the names, the addresses, which you can put the beneficiary, or you can put the insured's address if you have to, phone number. And then down here, this is the actual person that it's going under. So the insured goes here.
So you look them up using this.
Well, no, this is where you put the AD&D.
Oh,
to
yeah,
add
you-
the extra 1,000 per person.
Gotcha.
So if they gave me 5 people, I'd have 5 names, preferably 5 addresses if I spoke to them. If I didn't speak to them, I would put the insured's address there. The person's phone number, not the insured's phone number, but the phone number that they provided there.
Fair.
Down here is my insured's information, the one that's actually getting the $1,000 on their life. I would fill all that out. and then their beneficiary's name, just in case they pass, they need to be able to pay the beneficiary the extra coverage.
Gotcha.
Okay?
And which button was it at the top?
A, D, and D.
This one here.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll bring this up, put their names in, fill this
Yep.
out, and then there's a save and add down.
Yep. Just like a
Right.
normal sale report almost.
If they
That's
give
how
you
you do
if they
that.
give you a couple and then it takes say another month to get you the rest, do they get that 1,000 in advance? I mean 2,000 in advance?
Yeah, it's automatically added.
Okay, but
It's not so.
do they get some kind of certificate saying that, or how does it work?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer. I'm assuming that they would. I'm assuming back office would create it and mail it out. So this is actually.
I did one for my wife. My wife works at a grocery store, and she gave me a few referrals, and I called them, sold them a policy, and I did one on my wife. So the back office will send it'll come in a packet, it'll come in the mail, and it's only valid for 1 year.
Yeah, correct.
What?
So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
but
1
it's
year of
free. It's
accidental
free.
death. And it says that in that script too. It says 1 year free accidental insurance.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. It's literally, it gives them $1,000 if they pass in a year for every person they recommend, up to 5. So yeah, I guess they do
So it's
send
best
out
to give us
something with
one
it.
every year for 5 years.
No, it's best to give me all 5 so I can sell them all 5.
No, I'm talking about if you're the client, so you're covered for 5 years. That's
Yeah,
1,000.
But if you pass 1 year, you're gonna be. I would rather have it all or nothing. I'm one of those people that are all on black, all on red. I'm not
No,
gonna nickel and
I
dime
was thinking
myself.
from the client's point of view.
So make sure you state 1 year, but don't make a huge deal about it.
Yeah.
Emphasize
Yeah.
the free money.
Josh, I have a question about that. We can only do a maximum of 5. Like, let's say they come back like a year or 2 later and say, "Hey, I got some more referrals for you."
You can only do a maximum of 5 for the 5,000. But I mean, or for the 1,000. But they can give you 15, and you write them all down, and you give them $5,000 of accidental.
Okay.
Yeah. But they can give you as many as they want. Shoot, the more the merrier, right? And again, guys, this comes out of SLS's pocket. This is something that Rory pays. This is not the insurance company.
Okay.
You guys follow me? This is Rory says, you give me a referral, I'll pay you $1,000 if you die of an accident, right? And the reason that is, and this helps you guys tremendously, and it helps the company actually. So this is more than just as much as helping the client, because you got to think. I would say it probably costs, I don't even know, $500,000 a month in lead costs. So if we can get free leads from the leads that we already have, it helps you because one, what's better than a referral lead? Nothing, right? So it helps your AP. It helps the company not spend money on leads. They're still going to spend money, but you guys get what I'm saying. And number 3, it helps the company make a little bit of money to regain some of that cost, which means more money back in the leads, which means more leads for you. So it's like a win-win-win-win-win situation. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do we do after the application?
Go home, celebrate.
Yeah, right. Seal the deal.
Deal that deal.
Mr. Bernard, what was that client's name? I have to.
The Lemma, Phil.
Lemma Robinson.
Seal
Yeah,
the
there you
deal,
go.
Bernard.
Gotta wait until we get the signature back.
All I need to do is get that first sale, and then I'll seal the deal.
There you go.
How much was it, Bernard? The AP? Or how much was the monthly?
48. Here, let me go back over here a second.
Who was I on real quick that we had a call back? It was
On the other Gerber? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, I was just going crazy in my head. It's okay. All right. So that is how you guys can make some extra money. So next up, we're going to listen to some calls. Okay, we're going to do a quick call recording training as well. So Jacob, go ahead and stop sharing your screen for me, sir. Are you logged in, Miss Olivia?
No, my fan on my computer started making weird noises, so I switched over to my phone.
For some reason, I still have access, so I'll take it.
Go for it.
All right. Congratulations to your A-leads, to
Thanks.
Miss Olivia and Mr. Connor. Congrats.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Accomplishment. And Noah. Noah's not here right now, I don't think. But
Sir.
congratulations, Mr. Noah.
He's not here. Drop him back to B.
Probably selling one of those A-leads.
Well, wait until you guys see me start murking people out of the Cornerstone. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Let's see. Let me just make sure none of my agents are on here. Okay. Good to go. Beautiful. All right. So let's listen to some calls, guys. And this is Miss Olivia. She's been working really hard. We're going to listen to some of her calls and see if we can't help her. Well, there's a lot of agents working really hard. So let's see.
All 24, right?
All 24. All 24. All 30, 40, 50 is the goal. So let's see. We have redial, not interested. Can you guys hear?
Yeah, weird.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi, Linda.
Hey.
Hey, Linda.
Sam. Where are you calling from?
I'm so sorry about that. I'm Olivia. I'm with Senior Life Services. Okay, Linda. The reason for my call is that the other day you spoke with one of our company's representatives about the state-approved final expense burial programs. And you mentioned that your favorite color is blue and that your spouse would be your beneficiary. Does this ring a bell?
Yes, but I don't think we didn't finish it.
That's okay. Were you looking for information for yourself or for a loved one?
No, I'm not getting involved in it, but thank you so much. Bye-bye.
I totally understand, Miss Linda. It's just...
Okay. Very good job. Very good job. One minor change. Very minor. Instead of saying, were you looking for information for yourself or a loved one? Because you got to think, she just said, well, I never really finished it, or I never did that, or whatever the case was. When you say, were you looking for information for yourself or a loved one, it's kind of like, click, right? Instead say, so I see here that your husband would be the one like closing out the accounts and taking care of everything if you were to pass away. Am I right? Because what that does is that's a very general question. It has nothing to do with them making a decision. It has nothing to do with them having to have interest. Like literally it has nothing to do with that at all. You're just confirming a generic piece of information. So I see here that your husband, he would be the one. Oh, how long have you guys been married for, right? Build up a little bit of rapport. Try to avoid that question as well. Same thing as that paragraph. Go right into the beneficiary question. Always beneficiary question.
Gotcha.
All right, so let's see. So this one was for 15 minutes.
Hi, Paul.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, this is Olivia. How are you doing today?
All right. Hello, man. Okay.
Hey, Paul, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, huh?
Good, good. I'm Olivia, okay? I'm with Senior Life Services. And the reason for my call is that the other day you spoke with one of our company's representatives about the state-approved final expense burial programs. And you mentioned that you're living in North Carolina. Does this ring a bell?
Yeah, I talked to one.
Okay, perfect. Were you looking for information for yourself or for a loved one?
We got it took care of.
Okay, you already got a policy out with Senior Life Services?
Yeah.
Okay, great. When did you get that done?
All
The other
right.
day when I was talking to him.
Okay, you got that done the other day?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a bad habit to form. Okay. And this goes for everybody. And I know Olivia is not the only one that's guilty of this because I'm guilty of this myself. How long ago did you get that? Who's it with? All of those questions in those first few minutes of a phone call are shooting yourself in the foot. This call luckily kept going for 15 minutes. Most of the time they will not, right? Because you're asking way too personal of information and you haven't earned the right to be personal yet with somebody at that point, right? So instead, congratulations. I'm so happy that you got that. Most of the people I speak with actually do have a policy in place, but they do find this information really valuable. I see here that your daughter was actually the one that would be closing out your accounts and taking care of your final arrangements if you were to pass. Is that right? Okay. That's how you want to handle that. Always try to avoid the urge, and I know it's an urge. Again, I used to do it myself. It's an urge to say, oh, you did. Who'd you go with? Oh, how much coverage did you get? Right? It's an urge. Avoid that, okay?
Okay, wonderful. Did you get out a whole life policy or a term life policy?
Are you talking about life insurance?
Yes.
No, I didn't get that. I've got 2 life insurance already.
Okay, I got you. That's okay. I completely understand, sir. I'd be surprised if you didn't already have coverage. And I'm not asking you to make any changes to the policies that you have right now, okay? Most of the people I speak with already have a policy. However, they find this information really valuable. Now, when you were looking into Senior Life Services, what exactly was it that had your interest?
I wasn't looking there. Somebody called me, and I told them I already had 2 life insurance, but this other fellow called about Social Security.
Okay, so somebody gave you a call about Social Security, not life insurance?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
somebody called me about life insurance, too, but I told them I had 2 policies and I didn't need no more.
Okay, I got you. Who do you have those policies out through?
I got one with John Hancock, and I got one with something like out of Texas.
Something like that of Texas?
I've had them about 35 years, and then I took a policy out about 2 years ago with John Hancock.
Okay, I got you. And you said those are whole life policies that you have out?
Yeah.
Okay, do you know if those policies have any riders like terminal illness benefit or accidental death benefits?
I don't know, hon. I've had that.
Again, very good job handling the objection, but went right back into the how long have you had it, da-da-da-da-da, way too soon. We're only 3 minutes into the phone call. Save these questions. You can get the answers to these questions, and I want you guys to. But save it for your fact-finding, your needs analysis. At this point in the phone call, your only goal is to keep them on the phone long enough to get to that point. Okay? So save it. Make it to where you physically cannot say it until 7-minute mark. Okay? So unless it says 7 minutes, you're like, I want to, but I can't.
Self-imposed gag order.
Yes, exactly.
Guilty.
Save those questions. Again, it's an urge, and I understand it. It's like if somebody says, "Don't itch your nose," and then your nose starts itching you. I'm going to though, right?
Yeah.
Avoid it.
Okay.
Push it off a little bit. Masamic question.
Yes, question is like I've been struggling this a lot too. So I sometimes mix match. So beside giving the answer, so should we just ask how much coverage you have, or if it's any get the answer from them, or you just ask them? I don't know, like.
You're talking about when you do ask these questions, like in the fact-finding needs
Yes,
analysis, like how to ask that.
Mhm.
So a really good way to ask somebody how much coverage they have, because that is a pretty important question to know, right? What I like to do is I like to kind of steer them into it. So were you looking for a funeral or a cremation, Miss Masamet?
Yeah, funeral.
A funeral, okay. And then just taking a look here, have you looked into what the cost of a funeral is in your area by any chance?
Yes, it's I know my mom. We had to do it for her. Was more than $7,000-8,000.
Wow, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. How long ago did you lose your mom?
8 years back.
Wow, my condolences. You know, they say wounds never, or that stuff never heals. It makes a scar. Or they say that time heals all wounds, but really it just makes a scar and it's there forever. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
Yes, ma'am. And you know, eight years ago, that makes sense that it was around 8,000. Lately, though, since COVID, they're upwards of 13, 14,000 for a funeral. If you don't mind me asking, how much do you have already to go towards that? See how I steering you into that
Yeah.
now? Instead of saying how much coverage do you have, I'm saying how much do you have already to go towards that? Oh, well, I already
Nowadays,
have.
I am practicing like the way you said, if you don't mind me to. That helps us a
Uh-huh.
lot. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So anytime you ask a hard question, always say, if you don't mind me asking,
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you, right? Those sort of soften the blow.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yes, ma'am.
Front one, that first one's prolonged. I don't forgot what I got. And I got insurance to bury me and money extra for my daughter.
Okay, so you're thinking about doing a burial and then possibly leaving a little bit of a love gift to your daughter?
Yeah, that's what I got. I just took out one where she put me away, and then I took another one out just to give her some extra to get her going. Where she
Okay.
don't need it. She got more money than I got.
Oh, I
But
hear that.
I still took it out because she's the only child I got.
Okay, so you only have one child?
Well, I got two childs, but one of them I don't kind of claim him because I ain't seen him in about 18 years.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
But
You got any grandbabies?
I got 5 grandsons and 7 great grandchildren.
Oh my goodness, you have your hands full as a grandpa.
I'm a great grandpa.
And a great grandpa. How many great grandkids do you have?
7.
7. Oh my goodness, y'all have a big family.
I got 4 girls and 3 boys and 5 grandsons.
Wow. Well, congratulations. That's quite a blessing.
Yes, I have been blessed. I'm going to be 82 years old, and I take care of myself, although I'm retired. Matter of fact, I retired 4 times.
Wow, 4 times? You just had to keep
Yeah.
going back, right?
Well, I'm not like my granddaddy. I wouldn't quit till the Lord called me home.
I hear that. That's the way
He
to do
died.
it.
He died in '63, and he raised me. I was 17 when he left me.
Okay.
And I went everywhere he went, on the farm and all, and it's just in my blood. And I'm the oldest grandchild, and I'm just following in his footsteps.
I hear that. That's a great thing.
There's about 50 of us, and as far as I know, I'm the only one following in his footsteps.
Wow. Well, good for you for taking the initiative and doing that.
Yeah,
Now, Paul, when you were looking into senior life services, what was it that kind of sparked your interest as looking for another life insurance policy? Was it possibly to leave a little bit more of a love gift to your family, or maybe leave a little bit more of a love gift to your family? Okay. All right. Well, I understand that.
I got enough in the first one to put me away, and still some left. But John Hancock, I got an opportunity to go with him, and I had the extra money, and so I just went ahead and picked it up. Where like I say, she retired at 54 years old with of 2 back operations like I got, and she retired where she worked at 31 years. And
oh wow.
She's 59, I think now.
Okay.
59, and she's disabled, but she got with her full K plan, her insurance and everything. She got way more money than I got.
I hear that. When was it that you took out that last policy? Was that recent? About how long ago was that?
About 3 years ago.
About 3 years ago. Okay. Now, I recall you saying that you weren't too sure if you had any riders on that policy. Seems like you're missing a little bit of information on that. So what I can do for you, Paul, is we offer a free service called a policy review. Basically what we do is we get your insurance company on the line, and we just kind of confirm some of that information and make sure that you know exactly what you got. You'd be surprised how many people get on a policy review and then realize that they didn't have what they thought they
Okay. So you nailed that. You did an amazing job pivoting, right? Because it sounds like he's pretty good setup, right? He has a policy for his burial, a policy to leave money behind for her. Sounds like she's in a good spot too, right? I'll be the first to tell you, this life insurance is not for everybody, right? Not everybody is going to buy from you. Granted, for him, a policy review was the perfect way to do that. Now, and especially as a new agent, pitching that policy review is tremendous. I'm going to help you get into more policy reviews to be able to help you out a little bit with that, okay? Go to SLS Connects, everybody. And here, somebody share their screen for me. Again, I don't have access to the same stuff y'all do. Okay, hit that the drop down menu for me, Malik. All right, policy preview, pre-conversation pointer. Click on that one, and then click on the that one. Yeah. All right. Scroll down. Scroll down. Yeah. I haven't used this in a while. I'm ashamed of myself. Just keep going. Hit policy review script. Okay. Hit the drop down menu one more time for me. Hit confirmation. Scroll down. Hold on.
It's under policy review script, policy review questions at the bottom of that.
Yeah, but that's for the questions of the policy review. Hold on.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry.
Scroll down. Okay. All right. Right here, guys. I'm going to make this a little bit easier for you guys as well. I'll put all this together. I know it's kind of jumping around here, okay? But really, the only time that you're going to use this is for a policy review, okay? So, Olivia, this is perfect for you, and then this goes good for anybody else. So you go to confirmation. Scroll down a little bit. And you go right here. No, I'm sorry. You go right here. All right. Well, in order to move forward, I just need to ask you a few questions because one thing that we can agree on is everybody's situation is different. Am I right, Miss Olivia? What is good for you or what's good for your neighbor could be a terrible fit for you. There's no one-size-fits-all way of selecting certain benefits, so it's not like I can just mail you some magical brochure that has all of the answers. There's only one you, and a true solution has to be customized to your unique needs. For example, everybody I talk to is going to say, I love my family, and I want to make sure bear with me, guys. I'm going to make this way easier on you guys. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Share.
I'm sorry, did you say stop sharing?
No, I'm gonna take it from you. All right. Can you guys all see my script?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's say they keep telling you, I already have a policy, I already have it, and you're trying to get yourself into a policy review, right, Miss Olivia?
Yeah.
This is how you're going to do it. All right. So, Miss Olivia, I'm going to do something that's called a policy review. See how I'm not asking to do it. I'm telling you what we're going to do. I'm going to do something called a policy review. Did you know that most people buy insurance, put it in a drawer, and never look at it again?
Yes. No.
What?
No. I said yes, and then I said no.
Okay.
No.
For an example, for this guy, I would say, for an example, when's the last time you actually pulled out the John Hancock policy and looked at it? You probably put it in the filing cabinet of the safe and probably just never even looked at it again. Am I right, Miss Olivia?
Yep, probably.
Let me ask you, have you ever heard of a story about a person who paid on a policy for years, passed, and then it didn't pay out? Have you ever heard of that happening before?
Yes,
Why do you think that happens?
because they just weren't paying attention to what they had.
Absolutely. And let's say they say no. Say, well, it happens commonly because of exactly that reason. They put it in a drawer, they don't realize that it expired, or they don't realize it went down in value, or something happened, and they just never really looked at it again because they didn't really pay attention to it. They seen the monthly payments come out, and they just said, I figured I had insurance, right? Something along those lines. Well, that never happens anymore to our clients. In the old days, Miss Olivia, we used to just ask our clients, do you have insurance? And they would say yes. We'd check the box on their profile and we moved on. Well, that was a mistake. When we audited our files, we found that clients that we had actually talked to had died and did not get what they were supposed to have. Some had term policies that expired right in the drawer. Some had universal life policies that lost the cash value and lapsed. Some had whole life policies that had a loan on it, and the loan actually ended up eating the policy. And sometimes the insurance companies owed them money while they were still alive and never even mentioned it. For example, you said that you have John Hancock, right, for your policy.
Right.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to get them on the phone together, and I want you to listen to the questions I ask them, and then when I finish, I want you to grade your policy just like you're in school. I want you to give it an A, B, C, D, or F, depending on how you think the policy does for you and your family, okay? So, and then, can I edit this? Then we're going to skip this. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to send this all to you guys to make it easier on you guys, okay? I don't want you guys saying this. I don't like this. Okay, then we're going to skip down here. By the way, when they ask if you authorize me to discuss your policy today, just say yes. I'm going to ask them everything right in front of you so you can hear it from the horse's mouth, whether it's good news or bad news. Then you call them. But that's a way better way to get into a policy review. Now, if they're still saying, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't want to call them. I know what I have, da-da-da-da-da. You're going to go into this. You're going to go into asking them curiosity-generating questions, such as, oh, that's awesome. I'm glad that you're on the up and up with your insurance, Miss Olivia. Let me ask you, do you know what the endowment date is on that policy?
No clue.
Okay. Do you know if it's the new kind or the old kind of insurance?
Nope.
Say, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
That means, like, is it participating or non-participating?
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. You know what riders are on it? Like, if it would pay out for certain instances? Like, what would happen if you lost your left arm? Do you know if there's anything like that on there?
Not too sure.
Okay. So most people don't, and that's why I do these policy reviews, Miss Olivia, because some of this stuff is super important and could actually affect what your family gets the day that you pass. And obviously they're important to you, and I want to make sure they get what they deserve.
Gotcha.
So endowment date, guys, is the day that the policy reaches maturity.
Yeah.
For those of you that need to know that. Participating versus non-participating policies. All that means is, does it generate a dividend? Is the cash value working for them or not? So for those of you that need to know the answers to these questions, just in case they go, well, what does that mean? And you're like, I don't know what endowment date is. I was just asking you if you knew, right? And they catch you in like a type of moment because you don't want to be caught in that.
Right.
So what is an endowment date?
When it matures.
When it matures. What is a participating versus non-participating policy?
It has to do with if they're getting any benefits off the cash value.
Any dividends. Yep, exactly. So that's how you get into a policy review. That's the way that, and obviously you didn't know that on this phone call, so you did a very good job trying to get into it. So we're going to listen to another one because that guy was pretty well insured, and most likely, correct me if I'm wrong, we did not get into a policy review with that guy.
No, he refused it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. After tonight, that won't happen again.
Sweet.
Let me...
So you're working that into our existing script?
Now, I'm going to create the already script, and I'm just going to add a few touches to it.
Sweet.
Josh, I thought participating member, that involves a group life insurance.
No, participating versus non-participating insurance means dividends on the cash value.
What about in group, like a group policy when you have you get like, if somebody gets a policy from, let's say, their job, that would be what's considered a group life insurance policy.
Group life insurance.
And they have participating members and non-participating members. A participating member would be a member of the group life insurance policy that's required to pay a portion of the premium. And then the person that purchased the life insurance just pays whatever's left over. That's why it's always cheaper to get life insurance through your job. But when you leave the company, you have 60 days to convert it to an individual policy. That's when you're responsible to pay for 100%.
Correct. So I'm assuming participating can be used in a couple different ways.
Yes, so that's why I was confused. That's why I was just trying to verify.
No. When
Okay.
I say participating, I mean cash value adding, or is it giving you dividends or not? Because if they say, let's say they know the answer to that and they're like, yeah, it is, I get dividends. What does that tell me about that life insurance policy? It's a universal.
That's
or
only a universal policy.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And
Now I'm getting.
what happens with
Now
those is the cash value ends up eating itself up until it reaches, you need to pay $500 a month right now per month for the next 10 years to keep this active.
Okay, now I understand. It's similar to between the universal and well, it's mostly universal. Variables do it too. Thank you. Okay, now I understand. I'm sorry.
Nope, you're fine. All right. Oh, can you guys not hear?
No.
Oh, come on, guys.
I thought we were just waiting on you.
I'm a minute and a half into the phone call. Jesus.
Was it good?
It was pretty good. I was listening to it.
That's hilarious.
Oh, it looked good on my end, Josh. I mean, it looked like you were all into it. You know what I'm saying? It looked.
I was paying attention. And then I look up and it doesn't even show I'm sharing anything. Let's restart. I was about to ask you guys, did you hear that?
Hi, Gregory.
Yes.
Hey, Gregory, this is Olivia. How are you doing today?
All right.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that. Gregory, I'm with Senior Life Services, and the reason for my call is that the other day you spoke with one of our company's representatives about the state-approved final expense burial programs, and you mentioned that your favorite color is white. Does this ring a bell?
Well, why? I don't know.
That's okay. I understand. It's my fault. I haven't gotten back to you sooner. We've had an overwhelming response in your area, and it's been almost impossible for me to follow up with you. Now, I see here that you're living in Aden, North Carolina. Is that still correct?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And Mr. Gregory, who would be the individual that would be taking care of your final arrangements, closing out the accounts, and paying the bills if you were to pass away?
You got a bubble,
You said Barbara?
a bed,
Okay, who is this to you? Would this be your wife, your daughter,
my sister,
your sister? Okay, and you said her name is Barbara or Betty?
Betty, my
Betty. Okay, and now does Betty kind of help you make the decisions, or do you make these kinds of decisions on your own?
sometimes she do,
I'm sorry?
sometimes she do.
Who are you talking to?
I she talk to.
I hear that there's somebody there with you.
Yes, this Betty. What are you talking about?
Hi, Betty. My name's Olivia. I'm with Senior Life Services. I'm just giving Gregory a call today because the other day he spoke with one of our company's representatives about the state-approved final expense burial programs. And he mentioned that his favorite color was white, just kind of as a security question. And we're just calling to see if he was looking for information for himself or for a loved one.
I mean, what it concern?
So this is in regards to Senior Life Services final expense burial programs. So basically just kind of figuring out the final arrangements when, God forbid, that day does come and Gregory passes away. Now, would you be the individual that's kind of taking care of paying the bills and closing the accounts and taking care of his final arrangements if he was to pass away?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Well, would this be some of the first money that you would see if anything was to happen to Mr. Gregory?
No, Gray's fine.
I'm sorry?
He's fine. I don't know what he signed up for, but he's fine. Gray doesn't need to sign up for nothing.
Okay, you guys already have a life insurance policy out on Gregory?
Yes.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, who do you have that policy through?
Like you said, that concerns you.
Okay, I just asked because one of the services that we offer is a free...
Okay. What would have been, so good conversation up until then, and what happened there?
I didn't do the I already have coverage rebuttal.
Correct. And what did we get hit with? None of your darn business.
Yeah.
Right? Because again, we're asking a little bit too soon. So not a bad call, but that would be the difference between maybe getting the conversation to continue for a few more minutes, getting her to lighten up a little bit, because if you can get her on your side, Mr. Gregory, he's getting a policy.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name is. Gregory, yeah.
Gregory.
Gregory's getting a policy. If you can get her on board, woof, that's easy. You might get them both. So, hey, no worries. No worries. Congratulations on him getting coverage. Most of the people I speak with do actually already have a policy. But they do find this information really valuable. And then start talking to her a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What's your name? I didn't catch your name. I'm so sorry. So rude of me. What's your name? Right?
Yeah.
Get her on board.
Yeah.
All right. So
My biggest question, Josh, and I know I've probably asked you this already, is that I know you want to get the conversation going still, but if somebody has it in their mind that like, hey, I might have a great conversation with this guy or girl, but I already know I got coverage. I mean, is there a point where it's like possible to even get further down the line?
100%. 100%. Because right there, she's not willing to give you no information. Right? The more information's key, right? So if I can get her to open up to me a little bit and like me, then I can go get into a policy review and find out if Mr. Gregory really has a policy. So just because she said he does and he doesn't know what's going on, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
we very well might not have a policy, right? And if he does, what if it's for 4,000 and he wants a funeral?
What if he wants to
So
accumulate?
just because they already have coverage doesn't mean there's not a sale there.
Yeah.
Also, sounds like they're living together. Agreed?
Yeah.
They may want
What's
to
another
accumulate
avenue,
policies too.
or what's another avenue that we just talked about with you earlier, Rico, that you can sell other than final expense?
Yep.
Income replacement. You think she's going to be opposed to getting an extra $1,000 a month if Mr. Greg kicks the bucket? Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like she might be happy about that, right?
Right.
So other avenues that you can explore once the relationship is built up with the client a little bit. So
once-
push it down. Once, like if you're 15 minutes in, you got a good relationship and they're still telling you the whole time, I'm good. I told you I'm a good, like the other guy that we were listening to, right? He had a John Hancock. He had the other policy. His wife had, or his daughter has a 401k, but that was 15 minutes in. Then you're like, okay, all right. I appreciate your time today. Thank you. Move on. Also try to get into a policy review because it may not be what he thinks it is, but if you can't, move on. But after you've established and you've verified, so one thing to remember, always verify what they say. Don't take what they say at face value. Until I know they have a policy, I'm going to assume that they don't and they just told me that they did. I'm considering everything in the first 5 minutes a lie. You're busy, you don't have time, I don't believe you. If you were busy, you didn't have time, you wouldn't have picked up my phone call, especially to an SLS caller ID. It's not like it says daughter calling, right? Or husband. I see it. You
So, like,
spelled it.
I feel like for us newer agents, the biggest hump is going to be experiencing actually getting to a policy review and doing that and knowing that we have that true weapon in our arsenal.
Option. Yeah. It is, and I agree with that. Your and once you do your first policy review, it's going to be nerve-wracking, right? When they're like, yeah, let's do it. You're like, uh-oh. Right? You're going to be flabbergasted. But then you're going to get done with it. And you're like, that was so easy. They gave me everything I wanted and then some. This client
Didn't work
hates
that way
them.
for me.
True. But they might be like, you might be like, they hate them now because they thought they had a $12,000 policy. Turned out they took a loan on it for $2,000 2 years ago, and now they got $4,000. Okay. But explore other avenues other than final expense. Don't limit yourself to just selling a life insurance policy for burial because that's not what you're selling. What you're selling is a lump sum of money to go to any person that they desire for any reason that they want it to go to them. So I think that might help you more than just a policy review.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm selling you a lump sum of money. Who do you want to leave it to?
Right.
Pick a person, Miss Jones. Who do you love the most? Your daughter. Why? How would it feel to leave her $10,000? Would you like to do that if you could? You would. Oh, let's see if we can do that.
Do you find other companies?
But again, it takes rapport to get to that point. So just your main goal, especially as a new agent, get them 7, 10, 15 minutes into the phone calls. Get good at that. Once you can do that on a consistent basis, once you can get 15 people a day, 7 minutes in, 15 minutes in, then you can pick and choose who this person already has it, this person doesn't, right? But until you get to that point, you really just got to try everybody. Okay.
Right.
Just
Hey,
multiple
Josh,
things in the pot. Yeah.
do you find when you do because I haven't done one yet, when you do a policy review, are other companies pretty uncooperative?
No. No. Most of them besides senior life insurance is cooperative.
So I just
Um,
really hit the jackpot, huh?
well, there's not a feud, but senior life insurance and senior life services aren't necessarily eye to eye on
Best
a lot of
friends.
stuff. Yeah, so maybe they train them over there. If SLS calls, don't give them nothing. They're gonna steal all of our clients. Who knows? Senior life insurance, they're a little. I've had a few before. For the most part, they're friendly. You never want to speak to the person's agent. That's when you're like, if you speak into the agent of the person, they get a little defensive. But regardless, I love it either way. If they treat me and the client like trash, and I go, Miss Jones, I would never do that to you. If somebody calls me about your policy and you give me the okay, I have nothing to hide. I'll go over piece by piece with them. I'll cover the entire policy with them because I think you have the best policy that there is for you, or else I wouldn't have offered it.
Makes sense.
Okay. So that call is in a hang up. So we'll stop here for tonight. It's 8:35. I got to put my son down for bed. We covered a lot tonight. I'm gonna work on getting the policy review and everything added. I gotta run it by the other coaches and do some other things first. I'll work on that. Other than that, any questions about tonight's training?
I'll upload the link later.
Thank you.
If we get somebody like that first guy there, we're 15 minutes into the call, he's still, he really sounds like he's put together, everything's done, and we let him go. Do we just, let the lead continue on, or do we go ahead and do a do not contact, or what?
No, never do DNC. Never do DNC. Right?
Oh,
Even if
okay.
even if they say put me in do not call list.
That's when you do a DNC.
Yeah, that's the only time I do
the
it.
only reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have to say, put me on the do not call list to go on the DNC. That's like a legal reason. Like they have to say that exact words to go there. If they say that, then your only thing is, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I can do that for you.
Yeah, you can't.
Okay,
You can't even have any type of
Before I
comeback.
do that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Before I do that, though. What you got? Right?
I thought you weren't
that's the
supposed to
only
do
way
that. I
they
thought
go
you
on
just
there.
like, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna talk them out of it. I'm gonna do my best to talk them out of getting on that DNC
Okay.
list. Yeah, I'm gonna do my best. Now, if they're
You
like
see my-
absolutely not,
Did you see my text earlier today?
mm-mm.
Well,
I
it's
might
over in
have.
the chat. It's like
That's Josh.
1,200 characters or something. It's long, but I get on there and the guy wanted. He said, "Oh well, I told them to take me off the list, get rid of it." I said, I said, "Sir, truthfully, this is the very first time I've ever called you. That you just popped up in my lead." And I said, "And if you told them to take you off the list, I will take you off the list. But I just wanted to let you know." He said, "Well, I'm just not in a position to do this right now because of this and this." And we got into like a 25-minute conversation, and we're going to continue on. So,
There you go. Exactly. So at least try one last time before I do. That's a death sentence. You sure? Miss Masamet, you had a question?
Yeah, sometimes we like as we dial, we know today I really had a bad experience with cussing out one of the clients, but I was calm and take it easy, and he probably get a phone call from our company earlier, so I was the second one who called him, and third dial he picked up, and he was really bad at me, but I was like, okay, are you happy now? Then he just hang up. So I'm sure like tomorrow or day after tomorrow, if I call, he's going to be again on my list. So can I just call 1 or 2 times, not calling 3 times? At least for 3 weeks after when he forget me, then I can call 3 times.
So if you mark him as hung up, he should not come on your thing tomorrow.
Okay.
If he
Yeah.
does, send it to me because that's an error. Because if you mark them as hung up, there's a set time frame before we call them back. I don't know
Oh.
if it's 1 week or 2 weeks or what it is, but there is a time frame before you call them back.
Yeah, he was really bad. Then I hope he had that. Now are you feeling good?
Don't take it personally. Seriously.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not. Now I get used to it.
Just
So
tell him,
yeah.
love you. See you later. Click.
praying for you.
Who hurt you? All right. So very good training. I hope everybody agrees. A lot of useful information. Seal the deal. Upselling right before you get to the voice signature, right? You guys remember that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. Don't fight the urge to ask, who are you with? What company is it? Fight that urge. All you got. So that video that I posted this morning for you, beautiful. Is that a bearded?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I got one too.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they are cool pets. Fight the urge to say that. Okay. What you want to do instead is use your rebuttals. That link or that video that I put in the chat this morning. I highly suggest everybody listen to the first 2 minutes and 50 seconds of that before you start your day. Everybody still have that link?
Yep.
I'm gonna make that my finna learn
Yes, sir.
video tomorrow.
Yes. Every day watch that because Darcy does a phenomenal job. She overcomes 4 objections and sells this guy a policy. Okay, listen to the whole thing if you want to on your own time. But definitely the first 2 minutes and 50 seconds, 100% every day before you start. It'll get rid of all of those. What company is it? Because she never asked that. She doesn't care. She doesn't care who he has. That does not matter to her. The only thing she wants is to present a new product to him. I just need him on the line. I just need you to listen to what I'm saying. As long as you listen, I'm gonna talk. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for all being here on the training. If you're still going to be putting in the time, I will have my phone on me. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm going to go put my son down for bed, take a shower, but I will be here if y'all need me. For those of you that already hit your targets for the day, enjoy the rest of your night if you're hopping off or you're putting in more work to put in some more time. We're going to try to do this more frequently. Tomorrow I have Jacob, Nathan, and John as my ones that I'm going to be listening to. So make sure you 3 are definitely here tomorrow. I'll be pulling y'all's calls. So let's go ahead and do what y'all need to do. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, Josh.
Thank you.
We got the best